I'm Yasmin De Nardo. I'm Head of Connected Technology Academy at KPMG. So KPMG are one of the big four accountancy firms, but I actually work within the tech side of our business. So my role as Head of Connected Tech Academy, I'm responsible for our early talent community, pipelining in apprentices and graduates across the regions in the UK. So my role is national. Also responsible for the design and delivery of any boot camps that we might have for our technical roles within our business, and also focus a lot on outreach and engagement within the regions for schools, colleges and universities. Since I've been at KPMG, I've also started something called KidsCode, which you might have heard of. So we run sessions on a Saturday, mostly within the festival, but outside of the festival as well, where we teach children from the ages of 5 up until about, I guess, secondary school age to code with their parents, and it's been an absolute hit. So we'll be looking forward to running that again in the next festival. So I didn't actually set out to work in tech. It was all kind of part of my recruitment journey, which evolved. So I studied English at Leeds University, and I fell into recruitment because I don't think anybody actually says recruitment is my dream job. Maybe they do. So I started agency side and I worked on technical roles, and then I went internally and worked for Jet2.com, who you'll probably know, and it was kind of in the very, very early days. Went on to work for Sky Betting and Gaming during their growth period, where a lot of the focus of that was tech. And I think my interest kind of started, I guess, when I was focusing on a lot of the diversity and inclusion pieces and encouraging women into technical roles. I also started to be responsible for a lot of our early talent at Sky Betting and Gaming and launched the graduate schemes there. So I guess I saw the lack of female talent coming through when we were discussing technical roles, and I kind of made it a bit of a passion of mine from an early talent perspective and also from a female voice perspective as well, to ensure that we were, I guess, giving equal access to roles for, I guess, women in tech and encouraging women into industry as well. So I think the most common misconception is that people think that tech isn't for them. So I see myself as a woman in tech because I work within a tech business and I recruit for tech roles. I can't code. I absolutely can't code, but I think it's the positioning of these roles. There is a role in tech for everybody, and I think that's something that we really focus on in our work at Wild Digital, which is a social initiative which encourages people from diverse backgrounds into technology. So we do a lot of events centralising mainly around women in tech, but also diverse backgrounds to make sure that people understand what opportunities are available to them. So I think one of the key things about the Leeds ecosystem is embrace the networking. There's always something going on. I think particularly around the festivals, but I think obviously if you look at the Leeds Digital website, there's always an outline of things that are going on within the region. So there's always, it's making those connections, which I think is super important as part of that growth. And I think it's not being afraid to explore those new opportunities. Tech shouldn't be a barrier for, anybody's career. There is room for everybody in tech, and I think that's something that within the region we're really good at representing. I think it's and both, isn't it? So I think the Leeds Digital Festival is just so unique, and I think it's grown every year. And I think it's not just unique because of the types of events. I think it's unique because of the connections people are able to make and the collaboration that you see throughout the city. I've met so many people and I guess been introduced to opportunities and also made lots of friends just through the Leeds Digital Festival and the community itself as well. So I think it's something that really brings the city together and everybody gets excited about, and there's such a buzz, and it's a very hectic couple of weeks of the year, but I think it's just, I feel like we achieve so much as a city when that happens. And I just think it's something that nowhere else has. And it's just, it is really, really special. So anybody that hasn't, I guess, been involved, I think, it is for everybody, and there is something for everybody. And I think that's the most important thing. That's when we run KidsCode. And I guess at any tech festival, would you see that being a part of it? I don't know, but I think it's things like that that make it really, really special. Yeah, so I think Leeds has definitely become a real thriving hub from a tech ecosystem perspective over the last few years. I mean, I've been here for 20 years. And I've really seen it grow and develop over that time, and lots of new startups. As I said, Channel 4 have made it one of their national hubs. Sky Betting and Gaming have grown, Jet2.com have grown. But I think also what makes it so unique is the amount of talent that we have in Leeds as well. And we've got a plethora of exciting businesses that they would want to go and work for. So there isn't necessarily, I guess, that pull that there was maybe when I graduated from university to feel like you needed to go to London. I think we are very lucky to have such a tight-knit ecosystem where it doesn't necessarily feel, I guess, that far spread out. There's always an option. There's some absolutely fantastic businesses that you can go and work for if you choose, and we have the talent to be able to support that as well, from the local universities, from the schools and colleges that are coming through as well, and I think that's really important for the region. I'm lucky enough, as part of the Leeds tech community, to be surrounded by a lot of strong female voices. I would consider myself as one of them due to the support that I've had from those networks. But I think probably the single biggest influence on my career, I think probably has to be my mum. And I think that's because single-handedly she raised myself and my brother from a really young age. We wouldn't have got to university without her, which we both did. And I think I was working from a really young age as well. So I learnt that value of independence and having, my own money, and really that really hard work ethic has come from her. I think equally as well, I think when you are lucky enough to be surrounded by strong women, Sarah Tulip and I, she's the founder of Wild, we're really good friends. And I think very early on, when I was still at Jet2, actually, we became quite close, and I think she kind of started to integrate me into the scene. And I wouldn't have known about a lot of the events or things that were going on if it hadn't been for her. So I guess now I see that as my responsibility as my career has progressed, that I do that for other people in terms of making those connections, breaking down barriers for people, supporting other females and people trying to break into the industry. And I think, we're very lucky that we have a community that seeks to do that for one another.